Hi everyone, this is Nathan again, and here we are finishing up our final Week 8 speech here. I'm going to get started. I'm doing mine on the use of Native American names and stuff in sports and whatnot. Here we go. So the Washington Redskins, the Atlanta Braves, and the Cleveland Indians, what do they all have in common? They are professional teams that use Native American names and likenesses to represent their teams. Now, the real question we come to ask here is that appropriate? I mean, there is no straight yes or no answer. I mean, there are two sides to every topic, but we'll look at the fact, and I'll tell you why I myself think it's not appropriate. We'll look at both sides of this argument, why it isn't appropriate, how it affects society, and what has been done in response to the use of Native American symbols and names in the sports industry. We'll never change the name. It's that simple. Never. You can use caps. Now, Washington Redskins owner David Snyder made it very apparent on his stance in regards to whether or not he would change the Washington Redskins name and logo. Now, there are many defenders of what he has to say, the use of Native American names, logos, and mascots. Supporters argue that are being used as a tribute to the native population that have been here well before people came to the Americas, and they are shown to be brave, respectful, and strong. These positive attributes are the reason why these names were chosen by sports franchises to use as their team names. But why are other ethnic names used, like Irish, Vikings, and Norse? Many supporters say it's no different from using the native names. Now, you do have some, like the Minnesota Vikings and stuff, but the real question I have to ask is, we're not using names anymore like, you're not some, the North American Wetbacks for a soccer team, or the, Deep Southern Negroes for, a basketball team or something like that. So it seems more like a double standard, and I find that double standards are one of my greatest pet peeves. I think that if something should apply to one, it should apply to everyone. There shouldn't be any gray line in between. It's not appropriate. It's not, it's do as I say and not as I do. But many people say that these ethnic groups, the Irish, the Vikings, have accepted the use of their names, and the Native Americans should do the same as well. I think that's very, very shallow-minded. Um, the Washington Redskins are the most noticeable team that is catching heat about their team name. Like other supporters, Daniel Snyder had said, it's not the names of football teams, names of baseball teams, names of basketball teams. That's irrelevant. They need an opportunity. They need a job, and that's what's needed. They need the daily needs of life, daily opportunities of life. And Snyder is right that the Native Americans, um, they have like the highest poverty rate. It's almost double of what it is anywhere else, and their suicide rate among 15 to 34-year-olds is 2.5 times higher than anywhere else in America. And they're stuck on these reservations, and like a sore spot in American history where we're not affording them the same rights and opportunities that they deserve. Many Native Americans are, in fact, very offended by the use of the names, mascots, and logos. Starting around the 1970s, the American Indian Movement, or AIM, have sought out to eliminate the use of names, mascots, and logos. They felt that they were being racially stereotyped by everyone. Names like Indian, Brave, and Chiefs were not offensive per se, but some of the representations of these projected the mascots as violence. Teams these days still profit from these mascots, logos, and names. The Washington Redskins, the Kansas City Chiefs, Atlanta Braves, and the Chicago Blackhawks are all attempted to establish a story of honoring the natives, but hurt the status, place, humanity of the Native Americans. Most of society has been calling for the removal of the names from professional teams around the professional leagues. Even the granddaughter of George Preston Marshall, who named the Washington Redskins, has said they need to change the name, and this day and age is not right. After many petitions, the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office found that the Washington Redskins name was offensive and in fact removed their trademark from the team name. The PTO stated that the trademark may be disparaging of the Native Americans to a substantial composite of this group's people and may bring Native Americans contempt and disrepute. So millions of dollars of this revenue the sports teams are using in marketing off, Native American icons and their culture. The Washington Redskins are worth themselves $2.4 billion, but there is to be said that changing the name can help the teams even making more money by attracting the people that do not come to events due to the derogatory names. During a study, it was found that 2 NFL teams with the most negative brand equity trends were the Washington Redskins and the Kansas City Chiefs. So really, when the question comes down to is should the use of logos, mascot names be removed from the professional leagues? That's really hard for everyone to come to an agreement on. That I personally feel like it should. It's disparaging to their culture. You take things like their Chiefs, which are you're taking someone's culture and you're marketing it to be something that it's not. In fact, in my high school when I was a kid, we were the Cotter Warriors, and some of the tribes from around our area there were we had a chief head on the middle of the basketball court, and they found it extremely offensive that we would run back and forth across the court, across his face 100 times in a basketball game. So the school took that in consideration, and the board members voted, and we removed the chief head, and we just put a big old painted basketball in the middle of the floor. We still kept the Warriors. They were fine with that. It was kind of, I guess, an agreement that was made between the school and the tribes in regards to this. That way, no one's offended, and because we had a lot of the tribal kids and stuff that went to school at our school. But so I really feel like that it should be gotten rid of. Or there are teams like the Florida State Seminoles and stuff that have tribal ties that get permission from the tribes to use their name, the likeness, and things like that. But then I think the tribe gets a small kickback on that, some compensation for using their cultural portions of their culture and heritage, which is very important to them, So, that's just my opinion on it. I'm sure everyone else has their different opinions. I would love to hear some, and I hope you all have a great day, and good luck with the rest of your speeches, and carry on.